disappointment. Now the vice president often tell me, since he got a seat as vice president, how many persons have I recommended in this government to serve in the government as presidential appointee? 0. Every appointment in Nema County was done by him. He and I would discuss something as a brother. To implement it, you will bypass me and do different things. I don't talk on it.
Now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask.
The good person in our whole United Party, that President Parker. You want to say that again? The only person that appreciate good among all the United Party for that President Parker. The rest are ungrateful. The right, they use you and dumb you. But President Parker, if all of them were taking the President Parker and behaving the President Parker, United Party will have another chance in 2029. Just for now, they do not regard people that help them.
Of our soldiers were executed on this party ground. 2 at the back and 1 right at the headquarters. The man who shot and killed our people today is a darling boy in the Liberia National Police. They brought him back to shoot more guns. Get ready to shoot. Because we challenge the status quo appropriately.
Come on, Liberia. Inform them the violence or any student because of their action. It will be the day the entire Garguah administration will cut down. We will massively violate the students in this country and we'll shut down the Garguah administration. The day that happens, we have the capability to do so. And if they think this renovation project is a joke, let them try it. The fall of the Garguah administration begins with this. If they think they will tumble on any student in this country or at the university of Liberia and work away with impunity, while our children saving opponents and logic in the Western world, while we are subjected to agile power and bad learning conditions here, and the thing will say.
In the first 100 days, no car will get stuck on a major road in this country. And I mean it.
You say it out loud?
It's going down. First floor. There you have it.
That led to decades of war still run deep. But so too does the longing for reconciliation. A reconciliation defined not by political bargaining or by an artificial balance of power by tribe, region, religion, or ethnicity, but by the equality of opportunity and a better future for all Liberians.
Garguah can lie. The government, all the ministers in the government, they can lie. They don't put all hustle, they put a hustle, they lie. Everything they say, they never say the truth.
Today, the supporters of His Excellency Joseph Garguah presents him as a poor man from Lofa, and I said that he will understand the plight of the poor people. Fellow Liberians, do not be fooled. Vice President Garguah is not poor like you, not even as me. As Vice President, his office received more money from the government budget than any other Vice President has received in Liberia's history. He has enjoyed some of the best and most lucrative government jobs.
First of all, there's this, what I call sort of vicious lie about the fact that Mr. Pewee is gay or bring gay lifestyle to Liberia. It's complete bullshit. When people can accuse you of stealing people's money, when they can accuse you of being involved in the war, anything, people don't make up stuff. They don't make up shit. Excuse my language, right? So it's complete nonsense. I'm married, 8 Teresa, 2 children, 5 grandchildren. I believe in traditional family values, so it's complete bullshit, complete nonsense.
Young man, vice president, young man that vice president, the major so 500,000. I mean, Jamaica, the major went to, I forget that Jamaica, the majors went to Ghana, the fit, and they may bring it all company in the country. I mean, Kun, they can reach yourself. Kun, man, you know, Kun, but I want to sophisticated, quiet, hardcore rule in Labro. But Labro,
when 2029 come and pass, then you finally leave. Mission is completed. Now, what the rules of engagement? When the war ended, the guy said, the captain, the commander said, mission complete. There wounded outwards, all men on board.
Everywhere there is no school, I will put school. And everywhere there is school and school in bad condition, I will renovate it. I told them, towns and villages, everywhere you will have lights in a town for children to play and people to see. I told them, every town will have safe drinking water.
If Charles Taylor is the problem, he will be out of here in the twinkle of an eye. And I say, let well-meaning Liberians come home. If we respect this constitution, a government formed in Accra is a violation of Article 1 of the Constitution. Let them come home. Let that government be formed in Monrovia.
The government that capital rule, small, B rule, all kinds of. I think the reason Joseph Boakai will not do much because the old man, the papa is suffering. The papa loves the country, but he can't make it. The criminal there around him, they sophisticated than him. They are sophisticated criminals, so they can't make it.
Your league Costa, God know how to pay people. It's just simple. Costa that accused everybody here but himself. Everybody, we join, we accuse Joe, he killed Joseph Boakai. Boakai still living. Joe, no, you leave my brother. He made me senator. He almost made Joseph Boakai president until he screwed up. We gave God the glory. Yeah. Well, Boakai, when he screwed, he said, oh, we don't want to make sure we will fought for him to be reconciled with the president. And then the people who fought for him. Look, Yoli Costa, you will come. And Costa on a podcast, he said, they don't been calling me. Okay. The time you were calling me for me to kind of Boakai, did I put it on radio? That immaturity to do what he told me.
And I guarantee you, when we finish, there will not be a winner or the loser. Today we all wear the jersey of Liberia, and the victory belongs to the people, to the peace and to our democracy. As we begin to build upon the foundation of this new Liberia, I, George Seleke Kromah, the new president, will first give thanks and praises to the Almighty God for the blessing He has bestowed upon our country. And I say, my people, thank you,
We elect on 85 irresponsible men that want to happen to the country. We elect on 85 irresponsible men to govern this country, not to be very irresponsible.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Friday. Thank you very much for tuning in. We are going to do the weekend review. Thank you, and also for your patience. We have some technical glitches there. From Monrovia, everything is about the weather. Everything is about the network. So sorry for the delay, but yes, we are at the end of the week. Finally, TGIF, thank God it is Friday. If you are in Liberia, you don't have to wait for Friday. Your weekend has already started. If you are in Greenville County, they are partying the day out. If you are in Monrovia or Buchanan, you are partying. You are happy to get a few days off. For the 99% of you guys who don't have a job, I don't know what to tell you. Your weekend began last Monday. You don't have a job. You've been looking for the past 10, 15 years. You can't get a job. So you have been on vacation all this time. But if you are one of the few fortunate 1%er in the Republic of Liberia, and you have something called a job, your weekend started a few hours ago. If you are on the East Coast of the United States, as I am, it is 5:14 p.m. People are just getting out of work. The highways are jam-packed. People are going north and south, east and west, trying to get home, spend time with family, spend time with friends. If you are in the south of the country, Miami, like we are, in the Miami market, not particularly downtown Miami, but if you are in the market, or you are in the Palm Beach area, Port St. Lucie area, Fort Pierce, Vero Beach, you have been in very high spirit with all the World Cup teams working out in our neck of the woods. They could have chosen to practice in Buchanan or Monrovia or Harper. They could have chosen Foya. No, not Foya. No, not Foya, because they don't want to go to Guinea. But if you were in Cape Mount, no, they wouldn't want to go to Bombing. Because Tottenberg, from what I read, is one of the most depressed cities in the country, if not the whole wide world. Tottenberg, home of Edwin Melvin Snow and Corruption King Kong Alex Tyler, former speakers of the House of Representatives, and their hometown look like boom. I will not quote Trump over here. But you are running a S-ish whole country. You drive your expensive car, you drive your limousine, and you go zoom. And if you are from Bombay, you got no argument against what I'm saying. According to what I read, you are one of the most depressed cities in the Republic of Liberia. Bombay, Tottenberg. When I was growing up in that area, they had a great high school called C.H. Dewey High School. I don't even know if C.H. Dewey is still there. If the school is there, what happened to all the graduates from that great school? Torgbean. I was there way, way back when LMC was still alive and things were booming. LMC left, dug up the place, left holes all over the place, hence the nickname Bombing Hole. To make matter worse, based on what I learned, one of the pits polluted, making the water look green or blue. And all of a sudden, Liberians are making this chemical dilution, this chemical contamination, want to make it a tourist attraction, calling it the Blue Lake. It's like going to Cape Mountain, go to B Mountain and see the polluted water they got over there that have turned blue, just blue and green, just like that place in Bombay. And for the children of Cape Mountain to have the audacity, the mitigating galls to go out there and tell the folks, come and see blue rivers or blue lakes. That is the degradation of our country. That is the malevolent. You know, when you have cancer, they do a biopsy to see whether it is benign or malignant, whether you can survive from it or possibly kill you. The situation in Bombay has already been prescribed and announced and pronounced that Bombay is dead. Poverty, disease, ignorance, selfishness, greed have killed Bombay. Next in line to die on the table is Cape Mountain and B Mountain. B Mountain is about to kill Cape Mountain. A decade or so ago, you heard what happened in Mana River, Norway Camp. An entire civilization was wiped out. The levee that was built by NIOC, never maintained by the county, never maintained by the nation, never maintained by the government. Women, elderly, and children sleeping at night in Norway Camp. The levee broke and leveled the whole town. That's why we call neglect or negligence at the highest level. Whatever happened to those folks, their children, their grandchildren? I don't think the representatives of Kipman have ever made a conclusive a comprehensive investigation outside of the government and made a report to the people. Nothing of that kind. And the shameless Vani Sherman was senator then. Shameless. Some of us that was ecstatic that finally they have elected an educated, well-learned man from their county. Everything is now going to be in place. It turned out that the most educated, one of the most, if not the most educated lawyer from Kipman, Vani Sherman, became the worst nightmare for the people of Grand Kipman County. So yesterday when I saw a gentleman from either Grand Crew or River G or wherever he's from reading a resolution of where he said no confidence, I was informed that he is the chair on education. Could barely read his own writing. Trying to sanction someone, fire someone, remove their job, and he says that he has no confidence in Shikwe, and that the committee should alert the president that they can no longer work with Kuyate. This is the Liberia that we are going to. I'm going to say this again for the thousandth time. This is the Liberia you are going to bequeath to the next generation. The common man said, no hay, no tay. You bring the most educated lawyer in Vani Sherman, and he does worse than the man who was there before him. Then you bring another group of guys who can barely read, and you don't even, it's like it's a race to the bottom. But we are going to keep talking to our people on the ground and to ourselves. Maybe we all need to leave the comfort of our homes and go there and say, I am a volunteer. So we can collectively reduce the tenure of these men and women. Let these men and women face their constituents every 2 years. Six years is too much for one representative. 9 years is too much for one senator. Many of you in your 70s and in your late 60s, you may not live for the next 9 years to see the fools, the greedy guts. They may outlive you because you do not have the medical facility to sustain your life as they do. You do not have the means to sustain yourself as they do. Giving somebody a decade in power before they come back to you is insane. Today we are back here. It's Friday. We are going to do a weekend review. We are going to go from Monday through Friday. We are going to talk about all of those things in between. Let me welcome Seleke Kromah. Say good evening. Thank you very much for tuning in. I don't know where you're tuning in from, but it's okay. Chris Jabla, D3 Radio, Joazon District, Electoral District number 3, Sino County Relay, and thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have to look for this young man when we are in Liberia. He is an absolute gem. D3 Radio is relaying this show here in Kehleboe City, Joazon District, Electoral District number 3, Sino County. Our folks in Sino County, we salute you. When I come to Sino, you gotta cook that palm butter for me. Yeah. And Jordan Sekou Dole, I'm watching you from Bakedu Township, Kwanubuni District, Lofa County. Thank you very much. You see, our folks are watching, tuning in. They all have a lot in common. If you are in Liberia, 99% of you guys got one thing in common: being abused by your leaders. You all are being abused constantly by your leaders. Whether you're from Kwaduboni, or you're from Bomi, or you're from Sino, they say it's the same 7 and 6. It's the same coin, just on both sides. You go to Sino, you see the same trickery. You go to River G, the same trickery. You go to Grand Bassas, no difference. You go to Cape Mountain, and if you're living around the Bear Mountain area, then forget it. My editor said you are on your own. Kehleboe, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Thank you very much. Hopefully I knew where you were tuning in from. But share this show. Let everybody know that we are here. Let us know what's happening in your hometown. Today is Friday, so yes, you got an opportunity to let us know what is on your mind. Kari, what's on your mind? Jordan Sekou, what's on your mind? Chris, what's on your mind? Seleke, let us know what's on your mind, and let's discuss. We know what's on our mind. But as much as I can talk, I want to hear from you. What is the Liberian message? What catches your heart? What is actually paining you that you wanted to say, but you can't say to the person's face? Put it in the chat room here, and we will not call your name. Let us know what's happening in your church, in your mosque, because corruption is in the mosque. Corruption is in the church. Corruption is in the Dopoh. Whatever is happening there, we will talk about it. You don't have to put your name. But we got a few things we'll be talking about. Except today is Friday. Relax yourselves. If you got your popcorn, start chewing on it, because we're in for a great afternoon. We're going to be looking in our bag of tricks. We're going to look in our bag here. We're going to put up something, and we'll tell you what's happening. I want to say thank you to my son, Leonard Dudu. Did the shirt for me. Excellent. I like it. I have another one, all Ghanaian style, beautiful. Nice young man who is doing well for himself. He's a great journalist. In the meantime, Myean, if you are in the studio, I sent you a video today at 10:34 a.m. with a bunch of kids. Please cue that video. We're going to play it at the 6 o'clock hour. At the 6 o'clock hour, when we're talking about abuse, you will see innocent children, babies.
All right, Mr. Gayman.
At the 6 o'clock hour, we will cue that. For those of us who were born in the interior, and most of you who were, when you look at what these kids are going through, I don't know exactly where that video comes from, but it reminds me so much of where we came from. In a few months I was in Monrovia, traveling around the country. There is no difference. You could take this video, put it in bombing, it will suit bombing. Take it, put it in Bassa, it will suit Bassa. Kipma, it will suit Kipma. This video is what we call abuse and negligence of the next generation. Those children in that line are could be future doctors, lawyers, politicians, great leaders. Some of the young men and women that could take us out of this mess we are in. But instead of making their lives better, we make sure that the greatest weapon that we have against them, we use it, which is lack of opportunity, especially education, denying the young men and women the opportunity to be educated. Give them the opportunity to at least have a chance to compete. You are riding around in your $50,000, $100,000 car on a nasty road that is not even worth the car worth it. You are driving, you are so big and bad, you're flashing water on people. But that is the country that we have, that's the country and the situation with which we have to deal and face. There's a lot going on in Liberia from the newsroom in Liberia. We got some talking points in addition to other stuff that we need to do. And then we'll go back to our weekend review. Yes, there are some great stuff here that we'll be talking about. And sometimes you wonder, how do we get here? We are talking about, let's go to the Southeast. A few days ago, a few weeks ago, there were video all over the place about how the road to the Southeast have been not paved, but reconditioned. That even in the rainy season, everything is okay. Only to have our reporters and friends travel to Grand Jide to find out that if you were on your way between Grand Jide, you live in Grand Jide, on your way to River G, like my Ellen say, at this time, you are on your own. The headline said, drivers, commuters decry impossible road in the Southeast. We are not making it up. It's right here. We'll talk about that. Now, a few months ago, everybody from the Unity Party, including myself, We were hailing the Unity Party for passing a budget of 1.2 billion US dollars. They said they were the first. They were giving them so high fives. Almost a year later, the Liberian Senate said, guys, hold up. Everything that glitters is not gold. Dig a little deeper behind our 1.2 billion, whether it is true. Front page Africa is carrying this headline that says, Liberia. Senators demand answers over missing county social development fund as Garguah cites poor payment records by concessionaires. My senator from Grand Bassa County, Senator Lawrence, is asking, where are the millions, Garguah? Where? President Joseph Walker brought you here because he said, you were the miracle worker. You have the intelligence and the know-how, according to Joseph Walker, that you were going to work a miracle here when you come as minister. My senator from Grand Bassa County is asking, where are the millions? A growing controversy over millions of dollars reportedly paid by concession companies for county development projects took center stage at the Liberian Senate on Thursday, that was yesterday, as lawmakers demand answer from the Finance and Development Planning Minister Garguah regarding funds they say have failed to reach the beneficiary or the beneficiary counties. Where are our millions? I'm just teasing you. I'm just giving you the headline because I don't want you to come in and say, oh, this guy is about to beat up on this government again. The question is, then why this government keep cutting its own switch and giving it to me? If you cut switch, and what people do with switch, you know, you're from Liberia and I was speaking Liberian English. What people do with switch, that will whip people, right, for people who have done wrong. So the government sometimes cut their own switch and give it to me. And then when you take the switch and whip them, then they say, not because I gave you the switch mean you to whip me hard like that. Where are the millions? My Sarah son is Mr. Gayman, thanks for everything you do, guys. So you guys are doing here, man. This is great. I know my Sarah son, I want to know where you're tuning in from. But the question is, where are our millions? Y'all got a $1.2 billion already that we were jumping all over the place. Now our county development funds, we can't see it. Then the finance minister said, the concession, the companies, they got fussy math. He said the concession company, don't let them fool you. They're math incorrect. Where are the millions? If you like soccer have been in the news lately, and it will be in the news for a long time because the World Cup is here. As long as the months of June and July, Once we are talking about soccer, we will talk about Liberia, we'll talk about Liberian football, we'll talk about everything. Washington, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. Thank you very much, young man. Lone Star faces $5 to $10 million funding gaps for African Cup qualifications. Liberia's national football team currently owes hotel bills in 4 countries. Reverend Luther Tappe, head of the Lone Star National Team and Mobilization Committee, told lawmakers. Do you know how embarrassing it is if this is true? And I have no reason not to believe it, because it's coming from the organization itself. Just imagine in this modern day, you book into people's hotels. You eat their food. You utilize their services. And then you check out in the middle of the night. This is the Republic of Liberia. This is what they are saying they've been doing. Do you know how long it takes to accumulate $10 million in hotel and meal bill? You fly on people's airlines. You tell them to send you the bill and you didn't pay. What kind of country is this? Briefly, for your teaser, it says Liberia's ambition to secure qualification for 2027 African Cup of Nations is facing a major financial hurdle, with officials estimating that the national team will require between $5 and $10 million to mount a competitive campaign as lawmakers step in to address long-standing structural and funding challenges affecting the Lone Star. The funding requirement was disclosed Thursday by Luther Tappe, head of the Lone Star National Team Mobilization Committee, during an appearance before the House of Representatives, where he called for a sustained legislative backing, strong policy coordination, and increased national investment in football development. Tappe, who himself is corrupt, said he is also the chair of the Unity Party, painted a concerning picture of the conditions surrounding Liberia's national team preparation, citing deep-rooted administrative weaknesses that continue to undermine performance on the continental stage. Liberia, Luther Tappe, the gentleman who took the celebration money and could not account for the people's money. A man who hired people to go and protest at President Joseph Walker's house is at it again. This is my first time hearing that Liberian football, the football team, have checked into people's hotels. If the fool slept there and took the people's money and just bolted at night. The Liberian national football team currently owes between $5 and $10 million in 4 different countries, Luther said. Four different countries, they owe money in hotels, transportation, meals. So Liberia just go into these people's home, get into their 5-star hotel, order all the food they can eat, and then at night they just check out. What kind of country is this? As a businessman myself, I own my business. I cannot fathom that somebody takes my product or merchandise, abuse it, then move to another country and does the exact thing on 4 different platforms, 4 different countries. What kind of country is this? What kind of country is this? I want to cry. How do you go to 4 different countries with a Lone Star, check into 5-star hotel, sleep there, eat their food, use their transportation, and then check out at midnight and don't owe them $10 million? What kind of country is that? $10 million in 4 different countries. Let me welcome Honorable Victor Nagbe. You are from the Southeast. Your homeboy Tapping, he saw croak. He's about to croak us again. How y'all keep checking into people's damn hotel, eating their food, and then y'all check out at midnight? In fact, let me remind you, because when we're small, they would say, when the Myean, they say, Myean, and people bolt to you. You see people with the mattresses on their head going from room to room because they couldn't pay the other ones. That's what we are doing here. This country boy here, and I'm going to read it. Liberia, the Lone Star of the Republic of Liberia, faces $5 to $10 million funding gaps. The Liberia national football team currently owes hotel bills in 4 different countries. Hey, man. Victor, welcome. They went here, the freedom message pass mark. This one, can you imagine a national team, the country that carries the flag, is running at night, running from hotel to hotel. You eat the people food, sleep, and then you just left. Welcome, Victor.
Thank you, Jerome. It's good to be with you. Happy Friday, Larry. Welcome, my brother. Let me play my response to you. There you go.
If it doesn't work, I doesn't respond because my IQ, my understanding of his place is well conglomerated.
Setting remark doesn't work.
If it doesn't work, I doesn't respond. But this
because my IQ is very
my IQ conglomeration, and on this one, on this particular one, I doesn't will reply. I will reply.
I mean, Dr. Tape, I mean,
listen, don't call these people doctor, don't call them honorable, just call him Wilson Tape. As not Wilson Tape, let's talk Tape.
So Dr. Luther Tape is the chairman of he's the chair of the rescue train. You know, he knows where to go. I mean, if he's calling a press conference to lament the sorry state of the Lone Star, our national pride, you know, then where will you and I go to seek redress? You know, maybe Larry can tell us, because he knows where the
bulls are buried, huh?
Exactly. He's a finance guy. He knows what rock to turn over. So Larry, welcome. Help us here, my brother. How can we save the team?
No, this is what we call it. How do we save the state? That the real was save the state. I mean, somebody mentioned here, did he mention which country? No, he didn't, because that's what we are talking about. That's the whole crooked part of it. How can you say you owe hotels and services bill up to $10 million in 4 different countries? Kennedy, I just cannot believe some of the stuff I'm hearing.
Well,
Well, first of all, let me say hello to TCA, to you, Mr. Gayman, and to you, Brother Nagbe. You guys, this is the way you start a Friday show. You have a good blend of the seriousness as well as, if you're not going to cry about it, you might as well laugh. But let me just share something with you. This is from when they started discussing this budget thing, I was putting out this prediction that they were going to end up with a huge, massive budget shortfall. Because why? I mean, look, when I ran the numbers early on, in 2023, there was a massive budget shortfall. In 2024, they did some sort of a balancing act so as not to have a budget shortfall. In 2025, the budget shortfall was a little over 149 million. In 2026, I was projecting the budget shortfall was going to be even deeper. It's going to be one of the largest budget shortfalls you're going to see in Liberia's recent history, because the data shows you haven't been able to you haven't been able to raise the amount of revenue to meet all of those recurrent expenditures. But then for you to put out a 1.something billion budget. But Larry, I know you will go ahead. Let me ask you, how is it that I'm just confused. So how can you have a budget shortfall when the revenue authority continues to declare surplus and surplus and surplus? How do the two fit together? I don't know.
Yeah, you are a chemistry man, you're not a math man.
So, Brother Nagbe, what they're trying to do, they're trying to insult our intelligence. That's the only other way you can try to make some logical argument that you have a surplus, but at the same time you can't pay civil servants. You know very well that it's not possible, but they're insisting that, do you believe your lying eyes, or do you going to believe what they're saying to you? This thing, like what you're seeing is a lie. That's what they're saying, So in essence, they want you to believe what they're saying, but don't believe what your eyes is telling you. So they must think we're all stupid, right? It's not possible. You couldn't possibly say, hey, man, I have a surplus. You're telling your wife, look, I got an extra $100 in my pocket. Then she said, oh, can you help me do my nails? Then you say, well, I ain't got no money. Now you're going to end up sleeping outside. Oh, you got $100 extra in your pocket, but they turn off the light, they turn on the water, everything is gone. You can't make the payments. So this thing you can't have deficits at this level for several years and then come and put out a budget of over $1 billion. And look, when you look at it, there's a waste. When I was running these numbers, man, there's almost $85 million in waste that was going to take place in this budget they have. There's going to be a lot of waste. They're going to spend a lot of money. The president's budget, you were looking, I don't know if it's changed, but at the time when I pulled his numbers, he had a massive budget for his office.
Of course.
He had a massive budget. And when you compare to where some of these, like goods and services, when you compare to what some of these things have been doing in the past, you'll come to realize that, wait a second. I mean, this is the president's budget. Look at VOTEC training. The one thing that the U.S. government or the American embassy in Liberia mentioned one time that can help boost productivity in the country is having good internet access. Look how much we look to allocate in the budget for internet access. We all know that if you have internet access, you can have doctors at JFK connecting to doctors overseas where they can get advice and support. You can have online education. You can have a whole lot of stuff. We just seem to have our priorities all mixed up. When you look at the different sector allocations, agriculture, and you see when people are saying, oh, we put more money to agriculture compared to where it was the previous year, it's a statistical game they're playing. You put more money, but as a percent of the budget, it was less. You know what I mean? So as if we look at the budget, so if let's say, for example, I look at 2020, let me see, 2020, okay, 2025. 2025, infrastructure 8.62. Foreign travel. You see how he complained about foreign travel? It's because they have been spending a lot of money on foreign travels. Foreign travel from 2025 was around 4 million. Foreign travels in the 2026 budget jumped up to 5.8 million. That's where your money is going. Your goods and services, recurring expenditures is eating up a chunk of your budget. You don't have any money in there for development needs. You're missing the opportunity. And then, Brother Nagbe, this is what I think you must have mentioned early on. This is why the Lone Star is running away. Look at debt servicing. Look at debt servicing. We are borrowing a lot of money and it's eating up a chunk of the budget. Look at the debt that we have to pay based on this budget in 2026. You're talking about $230 million. Look at the jump from 2025 to 2026 with the debt servicing. It's not sustainable. You know, so the next time Lone Star is checking into a hotel, their reputation is going to precede them. And people are going to say, my man, y'all need to put down a security deposit.
Oh, you'll pay up front.
Not even a security deposit. Pay your whole bill up front, you know. Put some money into the cash register for your meals. Because we don't know, you might eat and run away or something. But it's embarrassing to the entire nation. Why? Because we have been doing this, man. We've been doing this time and time again. And you see, that's the one thing about Liberia. We don't collect enough data so we can be able to make informed decisions.
Deliberately.
It's deliberate. It's actually deliberate. You know, we're not being efficient. We're not being efficient. But I said this thing, man. I said this budget is going to be one of the deepest deficit this country is going to see in a long time, because you're relying on domestic revenue. And what happens if you have like a Strait of Hormuz kind of blockade? If you have a global recession, what happens? None of this stuff. We have an extractive sector. We rely on what's going on outside of our borders. And we don't plan accordingly. We do not plan accordingly. We rely on these things. Look, Brother Jerome, anybody can come out and say, look, next year I'm going to have a $2 billion budget. You can say it. But are you going to collect $2 billion? What will you rely on to convince people you're going to collect that money? You will look at your collection from the previous years. You know, so I can tell you, man, I can see this happening. I could see this happening, because when you read all of the data from the central bank, when you look at all of these things, people are saying, look, your budgets are not credible. You guys make predictions, but you never meet your budget. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Victor, Mr. Nagbe, listen, let's talk about this. I want you to touch on why he's out there. We are talking about the Senate is demanding answers. The county social development fund that was meant for the folks, that money has dried out. The money has not been given. Why you only let me go to the door real quick? Somebody ringing the doorbell. I don't know who's ringing my doorbell. Go ahead.
Lone Star, they come to borrow money.
And the Lone Star going.
They come to collect money. Money from us like Kehleboe, looking for a place to stay. Exactly. You know, and to the point he's making, I just brought up, you know, I think 2 or 3 days ago, Honorable Taiwan, we were sounding the warning. This is just from NIMBA, you know, so we can use that and extrapolate for the rest of the county. You know, Larry, that I'm sure that's what you do. But he listed the number of things that have happened to the County Development Fund of NIMBA from 2018 to 2020 to 2023. And Musa Ability also echoed the call. They're calling for an audit, but about $12 million cannot be accounted for. And these are some of the things he said here. This is Honorable Taiwan. He said over $2.5 million and 34.8 million Liberian dollars. This is 2.5 US and 34.8 million Liberian dollars expenditures processed with absolutely no supporting documentation, no invoices, no receipts, no vouchers. Then he says here, US $735,624.03 spent on infrastructure projects that auditors found were abandoned or left uncompleted across the county. And he has photos of this project. They initiate the project, you know, whatever it is, get a check, and then they walk away. He said a massive US $5 million $57,993.26 discrepancy between national fiscal reports and what the county recorded internally. $444,100.75 disbursed as financial aid to various institutions without adequate utilization, reports showing how the funds were used. Nearly $1 million. I mean, he lists a litany of things here that add up to about $12 million that cannot be accounted for. And this is NIMBA. So I'm just going to go on a limb here and say, multiply that by 15, and you get a picture of what is happening across the country. Yeah. You see, and this is the one that he was able to catch. Yes. Imagine the ones that he didn't catch. That's right. How much is going through that bucket with a big hole in it? But I gotta give recognition to Masera's son. That's one of my fans. So I gotta give shout out to Masera's son out there. So that's what Ty was able to recognize. But I tell you, brother Nagbe, the system is rigged. So when you hear someone like the Sheikh, like Sheikh comes out and he criticizes it, and people wants to silence him. Yeah. The same people who at one time were making similar statements, but because what he's saying is probably hitting them hard, they don't want him to say it. But I tell you, the system is rigged, and it's become so difficult for somebody to come and fix it because the people who are benefiting from the rigged system, they don't want to change that thing, man. They don't want to change it because you can automate this stuff. No one should be signing paper checks. No one should actually be going out there and moving cash. There is absolutely no way in this day and age money should just get up and vanish. People which, now bear in mind, I work in bank forever. Even some of the top banking systems, people will find a way to rig the system and rip the system off. I remember one time, I tell you the story. There was a guy who was working in our cash management department. And he had been stealing money by signing off and kind of diverting money, wiring money. And he had been doing this for a while. This was the largest investment bank in the world, right? He had been doing this stuff. And it wasn't actually caught on to. He got caught when he went over to Morristown, New Jersey. And Morristown is where like the Eagles, all of the big stars then buy houses. He goes out there and he purchases a house worth about $500,000. Now, despite the fact that the bank didn't catch him, but the system was set up in such a way that the downstream people will eventually have to do some vetting because we have the BSA, the Bank Secrecy Act, and we have some other laws. Like, if you go to the bank, you try to pull out over $3,000 or something like that, it has to be reported immediately. So he goes out and he puts down this money to buy a house for cash. But the lawyers felt there was something wrong. They said, wait a second, his salary did not match the property he was buying. This is why we always hear people saying, oh, we need to do a lifestyle audit in Liberia because some people's lifestyle does not match what they're buying. And when they checked, they found out, wait a second, they contacted the bank, and the bank said, they started investigating, and they found out he was diverting money. He was wiring money because it was right below some threshold. Like if you were sending something out over like 100 million, you have to come and see a vice president like myself, right? I could sign up to like $780 million out of the bank. But because he was doing it a little bit at a time, they didn't catch it. So you see, but they closed that gap. In Liberia, you have the system where people have found this loophole and they have been stealing millions. There are some people who, when you look at their lifestyle, they're building universities, they're doing all this stuff. You're like, wait a second, where does this guy get the money from? That's what happens. So Ty, he recognizes what is going on, but the problem is, how do you fix it? Because the people you need to fix it are the ones who are benefiting from it, and they're not going to fix it. Simple psychology.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we say Emmett Harmer, thank you very much for tuning in from K-City. Joanne Tarlu, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name. Good evening, TC. I'm a regular follower. I know you very well, watching from Brewerville. Hey, all my folks in Brewerville, if you This Sunday, go to Jeter Chapel AME Church over there. That's my home church. Jeter Chapel, Jeter is on the rock. Yes. So if you think you knew brother more than me, you don't know, I've been out of life for a long time. I still know people. I still know places in that place. David Williams, I'm watching from Colorado, USA. Thank you very much for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, guys, listen, if you are from the New York area, you should be in high spirit. The New York Knicks, the Knickerbockers. I don't know why they call that niggers.
Right now, you're trying to give me all sorts, but it's okay. Those pesky little New Yorkers, you know. But my son is here. I'll be leaving the show early tonight. We go to a sports bar, you know, where grown men go and act like little kids. You know, we're gonna start all over the place.
Okay, it's all right.
But the Knicks, I mean, they are really playing. I mean, serious basketball right now. They are what? 9-0 in the playoff this year. They swept the Sixers 4-0.
Yep, they won 12 in a row.
So they are something special to watch. And in this case, man, Jalen Brunson, he's got his team on his back. You know, they got my boy Cal Towns. You know, I mean, they are really, really, really playing. But I think Wemby is going to make a comeback tonight. So it's gonna be interesting tonight. And I believe if the Spurs are to really mount a challenge, they got to turn this around beginning tonight because they got beat at home. I mean, that is
they can't afford to be too old in a hole. No way.
No, you can't. You can't allow that to happen. You know. So, but let me add one little piece, Jerome, as we're talking about Sheikh Kouyaté, and this is coming from the Rescue Rambo, Martin Colley. I mean, we all can go and pull as many quotes as possible, but these are serious quotes that he highlighted here that are affirming the corruption that exists in this legislature.
Yeah, but you and I said it yesterday. Oh, Kouyaté was lazy.
About 10 of them.
Kouyaté was lazy. All you had to do was to the State Department. Yeah, every day, every year. Go ahead. Not to cut you away.
And you know what else, Jerome? He included a quote from Jesse Sibo. Jesse Sibo, who is the one who called for the apology. He himself has declared this legislature as corrupt. And Kouyaté goes over there, you know, my brother who I'm really beginning to respect a lot. Like you're saying, he went there very lazy. He didn't do his homework unless it was intentional. Maybe he didn't intend to press the issue any further. You know, he asked Stephen into, you know, I told him, you gotta go and apologize to the people, and you go there, you apologize, then you say you not apologize. Then which one are we going with now? You know what I mean? Come on now, Larry.
but if you Nagbe, if you go over some of those quotes and go please let me
bear with me here. One, I see people saying that budget was passed. Nothing was passed. You know what was done? We only say it was passed because the guys had argued that the majority wanted their money before they can sign it. This is direct quote. This is coming from Sam P. Jala to April 2026.
There you go.
Number two, we cannot be denied. However, he said what cannot be denied, however, is that Liberia's legislature is rotten. It is a mess and a dungeon for corrupt leaders. This is from Musa Hassan Ability, April 2025. Number three, we, member of the legislature, are corrupt. This is Creighton Duncan. He said it right here on the show.
Yeah.
Creighton Duncan. This is number four. I was offered a bribe of $25,000. We all know what Luther Collins said when this whole removal saga happened. This is happening in the legislature. Number five, it can be recalled that our committee, in this first report to plenary, discovered unauthorized alteration and manipulation in 2024 in the 2024 national budget. This is coming from Emmett Down. Again, Martin Colley is listing the receipts here. Number six, this same cartel will carry the budget to Bolivar Palace, you know, room 1026. This is Fonati Kofa. You understand me? Number seven, I rejected bribes on 4 different occasions from the majority of bloc to remove Speaker Kofa. This is Zina Norman, who eventually crossed over to this very majority bloc.
Yeah.
Right? Number 8, the Senate is rotten, spineless, and corrupt. This is Ibrahim Dara Dillon. This is 2020. Right? This is number 10. The Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission summoned 9 lawmakers, 9, for questioning over bribery allegations in June 2025 as a result of a formal complaint filed by another lawmaker. According to LAC, they refused to submit to a LAC investigation. Up to now, no head, no tail. So all of these things, and I know there's more the Sheikh would have found. He just got lazy. He goes over there and they stir him down, and then, I don't know, man, Jerome.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Oliver Sacco. Thank you very much for watching from Accra. But listen, this is what we are talking about. When you are going to a fight and they say this is a gunfight, you don't bring knife.
No.
Sheikh Kouyaté didn't even bring knife, bro. Plastic knife. Look, when you are going to debate, they say the numbers just don't lie.
And those kind of fight where the other guy he gave you a hard blow, right? Then you pick up paper, you got you confused and you pick up paper.
Yeah, you say I'm coming back. I will get you. Listen, trust me. I'm coming back. I will get you. So you go behind the bush and you take off. Sheikh Kouyaté, when Sheikh Kouyaté is standing by himself, he want to be Martin Luther King. He want to be I don't know who he want to be. He doesn't know who he is, and he yelling and screaming all the time. Then he start having his verse, and Soviet don't agree. He said that he's saluting Jomo Kenyatta. I will not let you down. You saw that video. He was going to salute Toba. I will not let you down. You would not let those people down, and you went right to the guy in the Senate, and you
let him down right there.
Yeah, no, that he burned. Candle, right? The candle is this long. The older it gets, the smaller.
If they want to show us, if they want to tell us they're not corrupt, let them submit to an audit. Let them audit the legislature. Why can't they do that?
I would have gone there with my State Department report for 10 years.
Thank you very much.
And I would say, I'm not just accusing you. I'm not saying just you guys. I'm saying this thing has been going for, say, 2005. This is the report. And you go through it and see, because you are quoting. This is factual. The numbers are there. So for Sheikh Kouyaté to go over there, even when he went back into the studio, he didn't carry no facts.
No.
He didn't make his case. So now, people are texting me and say, that the other man just told me, what he said, Sheikh Kouyaté has damaged his reputation. Can he be redeemed? I don't know.
I don't know
if Sheikh Kouyaté can redeem himself. Professor Kennedy, according to these guys, they think he has no redeemable values. They say he's done.
I don't know which direction he wants to go, man, because there was a Harvard professor named Bazerman, I think, who did a study on it. Remember the big accounting firms in America, they were doing auditing, but they weren't seeing some of the shenanigans that some of these companies were doing. They were being blind to it because they were getting contracts from these companies. So Sheikh is being what he called being motivational blindness. He's failing to see something that is wrong when it's not in his best interest. But when it's in his best interest, then all of a sudden he can see, Like right now, Brother Nagbe can't see because he took out his glasses. But when he put that glasses on now, he can see all of the bad thing that's going on. Look, Sheikh, that's the problem with Liberia. And you see that no matter what you do, you can come in, clean house, do a complete turnover, put in new people.
Yeah.
Those new people, because they come from that society where people are hustling like that, they will do the exact same thing again. So unless we, the people, decide that, look, we're tired with this. And I say this because the three tigers, right? The Singapore, Taiwan, Hong Kong, those guys were corrupt as hell. They were corrupt. But eventually they decided we had had enough.
Yeah.
We had had enough. And that's when change. Remember when people, remember the one guy who stood before the tank in Tiananmen Square?
Uh-huh.
The Chinese, they were tired of what was going on.
Yeah.
They were tired. And when they decided they were tired, people decided to stand up. They decided to stand up. But when you have people in there who are motivated to see certain things and unmotivated when it's not in their interest, then every now and then they would take to the airways and blast the system, and they want to look like a champion. I'm telling you, man. But you see, thanks to people like TCA, Focus on Liberia, some of the other groups out there who are calling them out. But here's the sad truth. Some of the people that sit on some of these platforms, and I will call it platform like Spoon, they ended up going to the government, working in the government, and they ended up doing the same thing that we're criticizing when we're sitting on the air. Right? So it's the same thing that Sheikh is going through, that whole trying to discover himself. Maybe he needs to go and do some yoga, and go do some mind rehabilitation or something. He needs to maybe go to the Buddha's temple or something, or the mosque. He needs to do something. But I'm telling you, man, every now and then you will have somebody who will have an epiphany. I've seen the wisdom. I'm going to come out and call it out. You see Martin Colley? They're frustrated the hell out of Martin Colley. Rescue Rambo was on the asset recovery team. He saw what was going on. He said, I'm getting the hell out of here. He got frustrated, but he called it out. He saw it, he called it out.
Listen.
But Larry, see it and they call it, others just ignore it and they play along.
Larry, I gotta ask you this, Jerome, if you don't mind, just 5 seconds.
Go ahead.
Do you think, Larry, these very, very informative, the graphics you came on here with, you think the president has the benefit of this kind of analysis? No. You think no. You think they will call you maybe to ask you to share this with them? Because this is really very, very eye-opening.
Yeah, you see, a lot of times before you make a decision, it has to be based on information. That's one of the core tenets of banking and finance, right? Information is the basis for decision making. The reason they're not going to tell the president is because they want him to remain blind to what they're doing. So they're not going to tell the president. The president doesn't need to know, not unless he goes out there and he seeks this information. Recently, I think it was the prime minister, the president from Botswana. I think it was Botswana. He was blasting at his cabinet recently.
Yes, I think it was Botswana. Yeah.
Yeah, he was blasting at them because he said, "Look, you can call me whatever name you want to call me, but I am seeing every day what you people are doing. So unless President Boyka is seeing what is going on, the people closest to him will not tell him." Case in point. How come when T. Max was interviewing President Boyka said he had no idea what was going on in FOIA, and if he had known, he would have stopped it? You, the president. People are building in your backyard. They weren't building in Grand Cruel.
No.
They were building in Lofa. And the man said he didn't know. So, and the people around you not telling you what is going on, that's a problem. Now, forget the merits of whatever it is that project is meant to do, a peace building project, whatever the case is meant to do. But just the mere fact that the president was on the air and said he didn't know, then you need to wonder, well, did he not know what's going on at the Guinea border? Did he not know that all these people from Burkina Faso was coming into the country?
No.
He needs to know, because they can be cooking up something for him, and unfortunately, he will be the last person to find out.
That's right.
So, you need these kind of insights. You need to see, okay, look, my man, Garguah, you're telling me that we're going to be able to push a 1.something billion budget onto the people. Let me see your data. How did you come across that? You ain't just pull some. You see, I'll come and give my New York cussing now. Forgot on the
air. Don't go there.
Yeah, when you work in New York and you deal with traders all the time, all day you're cussing people, breaking phones, a whole lot of things. But anyway, let's not get off topic.
Anyway,
let me see what you're doing. How did you come up with these numbers and grill him? But
well, let's look at Adam Wakan is Dude Daniel. I don't know where you tune in from, but thank you for tuning in. Nora Hooks, as usual. Ali Bakayoko, yes. Thank you very much for tuning in. mean, you guys are tuning in by the droves, but nobody tell a few of you not telling us where you tuning in. But that's fine. You can remain incognito. You're doing your little thing. You don't want your wife to, oh, excuse me.
Don't sign intro here. Don't sign nothing yet.
Yo, Jerome,
But
come on.
I can tell you, Jerome, I can tell you who is watching and will soon be coming, and that will be Cyril Dopoh. You know, this $96 million. The $96 million thing that broke today, this government, and I was reading all of it. It turned out, I'm not one to go into who started what and who ended what, but this thing was signed in 2003 by Samuel Pewee, and apparently it's just coming into fruition. You know, this new solar thing that is the World Bank is helping, you know, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Chad, Togo, right? To you know, kind of increase, you know, solar energy and take the pressure off, you know, the grid and all of that. You know, but I've seen a lot of the government people posting that, and congratulations to the government. You know, it's a win, is a win. But I know Cyril is going to come on here and claim it because it must. I think the groundwork must have been, you know, done by the previous government. But you know,
look, this is what we are talking about, right? And we keep saying the same thing. It's MLA 101, okay? Whatever it is, you have to cite, you got to give credit. It is your paper. You are going to get an A. The fact that you were able to use other people's work, collaboratively and coordinate them to make sense. It carries most weight, okay? To cite, just imagine, using 5 different articles, 5 different authors, 5 different thoughts of thinking, and then you bring these trends together to synthesize it. That's what we are talking about. So, like I said, these guys, like we are saying, right? They either have to be naive that somebody is not going to pull up the initial contract here. This contract was negotiated just like the way they were jumping all over the place for this seat at the United Nations, right? They are breaking champagne, and the president told them, said, the only way you are not going to get this seat unless something happened, but we have signed it, we have done the homework, we've done everything. Just go there and sit. And they were dancing. Pewee was here. Pewee, why are you so ecstatic? Because it's going to catapult us to this level where we can now basically write our own meal ticket. Hey man, Pewee, come on. I know you're listening. So now we are not writing our own meal ticket anymore. We are asking Brian Ballas to talk for us, put us on the agenda. So open doors for us. I mean, you're sitting at the table. We're not talking.
I mean, imagine we're on the Security Council seat and we can't solve Solomon. Tell me the irony. I mean, anyway.
But that's what it is. So here we are. From Monrovia, the President Joseph Boakai emphasizing the need to ensure electricity reaches communities nationwide. Dedicate a new 20 megawatt solar farm. President Joseph Boakai said the Mount Coffee has been fully rehabilitated and is now back in service. With this achievement, Mount Coffee has been restored to its full generating capacity of 88 megawatts of power. Honorable Mohammed M. Sharif, Managing Director of Liberia Electricity Corporation, sound boastful. This is where we are. You know, Professor Kennedy, you know, when they start talking about electricity, you know when they start making it BB? When the rainy season is here. Then all of a sudden, the Mount Coffee is out of, we have repaired it, it's at its full capacity. You're going to see light and everything else. So here we are, the president is boasting, the LEC director is boasting. All this time we have not heard anything from them the whole dry season. Now we've been hearing in Monrovia that it has been rainy, crazy. Now all of a sudden now Mount Coffee is at its full capacity. All of a sudden, at its full capacity to be complemented by 20 megawatts of solar. Professor Kennedy, this is where we are. the advantage and disadvantage of solar. Talk to us about the advantage and disadvantages of solar.
So let's take this thing apart first of all. And I think you guys, if I go and check Facebook right now, I will see you guys probably commented positively, which is good, when under the CDC this thing first happened. This thing, I remember when it first happened, CDC was boasting about receiving about 300 or something million or so for solar, and then people were correcting them that it was between several other African countries. It wasn't just Liberia. If you guys remember that thing? That's where this thing comes from. Great. But one minor problem, is it a grant or is it a loan? It's a loan. I know President Myean in his final State of the Nation address, he did mention that, you know, America was giving us free money for certain things, but there's no such, if you're in economics, any student, Echo 101, there's no such thing as a free good, right? So nothing free. Why would you have so much money in your budget going to recurring expenditures when you need just maybe $15, $20 million to start your own solar farm without having to run to the World Bank? President Boyka, when he was on the campaign trail, he said we need to get off this foreign begging for money thing. He said it on the campaign trail. He said we need to, but here it is now, they're celebrating when they're seeing something that took place under President Myean, they're celebrating it. It's like selective memory. I can choose to remember those things. You know, like it's Friday. I'm gonna call it out, right? You don't remember when your wife bought you your suit because now she's asking you to buy her something. All of a sudden, you forgot that she bought you something first. You're choosing what to remember, what not to remember, and that would get you in trouble every time. I'm telling you, they need to remember this thing took place on Myean, but it was a loan that America was giving to African countries. This is the thing I can't figure out. You can go to China and get these parts, but you need to invest in education because like so many things in Liberia, when it breaks down, you don't have people educated to fix them. You need to train your people first. And learning, you know, if you have the Vortex school, you invest in it, you can train the young people over there to do these repairs and do the installation. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money, but you just have to invest in it. You know, you have to invest in it. You can't have an abundance of sun and you have electricity problem. Brother Gayman, does that make sense?
Well, in Liberia,
Monrovia is one of the wettest capitals, but you have issues with clean drinking water. It makes no sense because we're not capturing water and storing it. You, Brother Gayman, you live in New York one time, you know the Adirondacks is where they store all the water, and then it's shared downstream across New York City, 10 million people. You have to have smart planning. Countries do that. And you yourself, sometimes you know here in California have a drought because the water, when they store it, it does dry up. But those countries are not in the tropics. We have a tropical environment where it rains, rainy season, and you can store a lot. We never do the right investment. We're spending, like Robert Garguah mentioned, and then George Lobo tried to hit him back. We're spending $1.something million on bulletproof vests. If we're not too hungry to try to shoot you through a bulletproof cot. We got to get our priorities straight, man. Now, let's see if they will be able to deliver on this electricity thing. Anybody who wants to argue, I have no fuss, no fight, no argument. If you can get the solar farm up and running, it will help the young children who are sitting in the darkness and cannot read because there's no light. It will help them. It will benefit all the people. It will help boost economic development. That's why I think TCA, the last time when you guys helped with the donation for the mission, it's going to help to get a small generator, a solar panel, a mobile solar panels for the school in Monrovia, so the children can be able to use it at the school. You know, so I hope it works. I'm not gonna turn around and say no, let's not do it. No. Get it up and running. Let's put electricity in some of the hospitals and clinics. Let's put electricity in some of the schools. And let's see if we can help the people there out. So let's see how to do it. You know, maybe we'll be sitting out here next year and be asking, what happened to the power? What happened to the solar panel? But one last thing. Then Brother Nagbe would be back saying, "Oh, 7 million disappeared." Typical Liberia.
But Victor, I know the problem that we have in Liberia is maintenance. These people don't know that when you have a solar panel, it has to be maintained. It has to be clean. Listen, if you don't, the thing sometimes it collect dust, right?
Yeah.
The technicians have to, if you have a farm as big as this one, you're talking about some serious work to maintain, to just clean this stuff.
That is correct.
I'm not seeing anybody. Liberia has always had problem with maintenance, and this is not going to be any different.
And you got to have the Vortex School teaching the young people right now. So over to you, Brother Nagbe.
No, I mean, Larry, this is where they could also use the young people a lot, like you're saying, the cleaning out of that, the battery storage and servicing, it's a whole lot that comes into this. Is it going to be like the projects we just talked about in Nimba, where, they just put it down and then they move on and expect it to take care of itself? But for whatever it's worth, then Larry raises a serious question: is it a loan or a grant? And I think it is a loan. This is to be. I hope it is captured in the graphic that he, brought on earlier. I hope so. Since, in fact, this is something that started years ago before they even came into being, and hopefully, it will save us some money. That will help us, service some of this loan and bring it down. Hopefully, but. For whatever it's worth, again, congratulations to this government. At least they didn't abandon it. I don't know if they had any choice, but at least they pursued it. And now, it looks like it's coming to fruition. Like you said, Jerome, hopefully they'll do the responsible thing and give credit to where credit is due. I think it makes them look big to me. If they acknowledge some of the stuff that was started by the predecessor, it makes you really look. But to begin this whole thing about we started it and all of that stuff, I think it just looked childish.
It's childish.
Yes.
I wish we could share the graphic again. I'm trying to share it to answer two things Brother Gayman said and what you were asking, Brother Nagbe. I don't know who's on the controls.
Myean is there.
If Myean is there.
Yes, he will come. When he comes, he will put it on. But let's look at this one. Look, I think Professor Kennedy was saying sometimes it's just good to just laugh, right? It's good for your health. It's good for our soul. It's good for the body and the mind. This one, the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency Deputy Officer in charge, and it's another Tape again. For the Southeast, there is no visible ghetto remaining in Monrovia and Paso. It's adjacent. This is the progress we have made since our appointment. If ghetto is in Monrovia, then the person is selling it from their bedroom. We have more than 200 ghettos across the country when we took over. With the support of President Joseph Newman Boakai, we have dissolved all the ghetto substantial. There's no more ghettos. So you said there, you said, what should we do with human beings like this?
Like Larry said, he probably needs to come.
I'm going to give it to you because this another Southeastern brother, another Tape, we just came from another Tape. From Tape
to brother. I can let him.
And what's that Eastern alone, man?
I know, right? I don't know what it means, but he can come and borrow my glasses.
Not to cut you off, we came from Reverend Dr. Luther Tape to another Tape. What's going on with this?
Hold on. There was one show where remember Tape did something. Doc Peabody said, "Man, that man's a crook."
The man said there's no ghetto the man said there is no ghetto in Monrovia anymore. Since they say he was appointed LDEA, they have, let's say ghettos. Nukutan disappeared, Point 4 disappeared, Gibraltar disappeared. All over the country, they're all gone. Anybody who's in the sea ghetto is in their dream.
I saw the topics and I've been trying to process this claim that he's making, and I just can't make head of because I mean, yeah, I think you and I were there in January, so it's a long time now. So maybe he's got a point there. But from what you and I saw, Jerome, I'm having difficulty reconciling that with what is out in the streets. I mean, from what we saw, it just seems to me like our young brothers and sisters are still consuming. So where are they getting these from? So if he says that there is no more ghetto, then I guess we'll have to see.
What you understand ghetto to be?
Exactly. Every now and then we see these independent reporters, go into the ghettos, and you see the people coming out of there, send us in all these places, But if he says they cleaned everything out, then that is good. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. I hope someone in Monrovia will call us here and substantiate this claim.
Siaple is here. Siaple said, Mr. Gayman, can you show us anywhere in Monroe where there is a visible ghetto? Oh, Siaple.
That's a thinking person right in there. Obviously, where do we know where to get it? I mean, if you show me one,
listen,
but the people who know how to find it, they will find it.
But what do they call, what do they know or call ghetto? Huh? What is ghetto to you? The definition of ghetto is that the term ghetto refers to an isolated or segregated areas of a city where minority groups are concentrated due to social, economic, and political. So when we say ghetto, what you think the ghetto is where poor people live? So
poor black people.
Yeah. So tell me now. So the whole Monrovia now is a suburb of elitists, bourgeois everywhere. So if we're going by the classical definition of ghetto and where poor people congregate, we talk about social deviance. That's what we are talking about. Where poor people congregate, there will be crime, there will be drugs, there will be murder, there will be violence. That's the definition of ghetto. So selling drugs from a house is different from a ghetto. Look at
we pointed out here, I think 2 episodes ago, how in Liberia we generate our own definition of things, right? For instance, we said when you say audit in Liberia, then it means this man not eat something, he not eat the poor money, right? Or when you say indictment, then you already guilty.
That's right.
I think my Southeastern brother here, when he say ghetto, I think what he means where they sell the drugs. I think that is his definition of ghetto. But based on what you just said here, yeah, ghetto is where poor black guys. This is where we live on the side. That's the ghetto. Poor neighborhoods, and where mostly you have people on welfare and that kind of thing. So I don't think that's the definition my brother has in mind when he says, there are no more ghettos in Liberia. I don't know.
So ghetto is in the eyes of the beholder?
Is that what it is? So he is saying selling drug in a home is different from selling drug in the ghetto. Oh,
there you
go. Technical on you there, Chief.
Yeah, but I don't know when once we have this kind of mindset, this is why Liberia I'm reading to you here for the DSM-3, that 8, which is the psychological Bible for the sociologists.
So Jerome, you have this correction in the chat.
What is it?
Raleigh is saying no. Your definition is from the sociological and geographical stand, and not from the point of drug. So
then why you use the word ghetto?
Yeah.
If you use the word ghetto, it's an acceptable social nomenclature. Okay? It's a nomenclature that is given to a particular group of part of the society where the poor people congregate. And the reason they do that is before where we congregate, these things happen. Drug is not just one of them. crime, sexual violence. We talk about deviant. So if selling drugs is a deviant attitude, that is aside from the norm. There's nothing sociological about it. That's just the factual definition. So if we were saying only 10% of the Liberian population or Monrovia, maybe less than 10%, is considered, where they live is considered suburb or upper area, that 90% of Liberia is considered ghetto. They have not even reached that ghetto. Because we are talking about people who, when we talk about ghetto in the United States and other places, we are talking about people who are poor. Then they give you a number line, right? They will say anybody who makes below $20,000 is considered poor. What we are talking about in Nuclear Town, in Gibraltar, we are talking about abject poverty. Abject poverty. That is people who are making less than $1 a day. If that is not a ghetto, then I don't know what it is. And do you know how most of these people live in those areas? Yeah, they do things that are not normally allowed by law. Selling drugs is one of those areas. And those areas like Gibraltar, with no disrespect to our brothers and sisters in Nuclear Town, Point 4, Looking Town, all of those places. For you to survive. You and I were there. You go to the cemetery there. You go to Central Street, right? And tell me if that is not a ghetto. It's supposed to be a cemetery, but it has been taken over by drug dealers, drug users, pimps, prostitutes. That's ghetto. So for the DEA director said all ghetto across the country have been eliminated. You got to be a fool to even entertain that.
Let me ask you this. Isn't the guy acting? Has it been confirmed?
Who?
This DEA director.
Oh,
he replaced AP Kromah. I don't know if he was ever confirmed. It looks to me like someone who is trying really hard, you know, to get. I don't know. I don't know him at all.
This guy is still acting. He's got to hear before he need a guy deputy. Yeah. So he is not like you say. Maybe he's trying to get the proper definition of this thing. He wants to get the title.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is what it is. Listen, Mr. Siaple, this is what we say here in the School of Social Thought, right? They say you are entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts. The facts are the facts. You can't say in Liberia they define it differently. No, it doesn't work that way. The reason when your folks come from the United States with a degree, they are so boastful is because they accept the Western way of definition or defining these things. So don't tell me as soon as they get to Liberia, now we got a different definition of what ghetto is. No. Ghetto is not a Liberian terminology. It's not a Liberian phrase. It's not a Liberian word. So if you are using it, you have to apply the same definition. But nice try, though. But it's a no-go. But Mr. DEA, for those of you, you need to hire a PR person. Do what Joseph Boyka did. Hire a public relations firm or a lobbying firm to read and write your press releases. There are ways that the American people call it, you can split hair without being cornered. This one, he didn't even come close. So now for the next week or so, he's going to be the laughing stock in Monrovia. You will see the different memes on TV. They will start making sound of a complete fool to come out and say we have wiped our hunger in Liberia. We are no longer hungry. We are now self-sufficient. Basically, that's the equivalent. But yes, let's talk about, before we go here, we have talked about these things. Let's talk about Boyka. Let's say I like the nomenclature he has here. Right? Boyka launches new national security strategy, shifts focus. to human security and emerging threats. Is it like the Liberian people that we know how to write? Like I said, there is no lacking of ideas and writers. And I mean, we are very good at when it comes to putting things together, we can do it. It's the implementation and everything. As in Monrovia President Joseph Yuma Boakai on Wednesday officially launched Liberia's National Security Strategy 2026 to 2036, 10 years. Like the guy who want to take after him is going to say, 10 years from now, do you know what? Look, anybody who does planning and you do it after 5 years or so, I think you are actually fooling yourself, because low-half technology have changed and keep changing on a daily basis. Those of us who were here talking about suicide bombing 10 years ago, you don't hear about suicide bombing anymore. Those of us who were here talking about the F-16 airplanes and all the tactical aircraft, these drones now, we talk about the big, like, Grumman and Boeing and these guys who are making all these fighters, they now to go back to places like Ukraine to downgrade to how do we manufacture, defend ourselves against drones. The F-16s, the fighter jets, they are no match to these 2,000 coming. They overwhelm you. They kind of about 10,000 and then they know you're going to shoot down as many as you can with your $1 million stuff, but all they need one or two to get through. So if you say you are planning for 10 years in advance on security issues, somebody advising the president, Mr. President, things are so dynamic, 10 years may not be the way to go. But yes, here they are.
The president was in Ethiopia, I believe, a couple of weeks or so ago. You remember that? Again, I guess MOU, but I think they were talking about cooperation in several areas. And what you're pointing out, I hear people talk about so many crossing points we have in Liberia. We can't man the borders and all of that. That is, and these are some of the things we've been pointing out. You don't need to station human beings, at the crossing point. One or two drones will survey the whole area. And I understand, Ukraine and other people are building these things for like $35,000 now for one or something that, Larry might be able. But yeah, I mean, if that's what the president means, I hope that's what he means. But that whole human security and thing, yeah, you need the human analysts and all of that. But now we know AI. I mean, it's been proven time and again. AI does this analysis almost 100 times faster and gives you more options than the human mind is able. You need people behind the screen to type in, the commands and all of that. But I mean, that's a like you're pointing out, that's a place we probably need to look. Drones helping us, flying over and kind of keeping an eye on the various crossing points. I think that would be more cost effective, than having Tape and his men then jump on the pickup. You gotta give them gas. And I don't know, but I hope that is the thinking that I saw the headline quite honestly, but I haven't taken the time to read the details of what it is that the president is proposing. I think this thing came out of the cabinet meeting, right? I believe.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Kennedy, the stuff is on the he just put it back there.
Oh yeah. Remember we were talking about the solar panels, vocational training. I think, Mr. Gayman, you mentioned that you would need a lot of maintenance. And we're talking about, hey, you need to have a strong number of young people who are trained in VOTEC in order to be able to maintain this stuff. The reason I wanted to point this out was in 2025, the percentage of the budget that was allocated to VOTEC was 0.004%. In 2025. In 2026, it fell to 0.003%. So when you're talking about doing solar panels, but you're reducing the budget for VOTEC, then you're not serious, because something doesn't add up. You can't be bringing in this kind of technology and you don't train the young people. It's a great technology. It's a great way to put a whole lot of young people to work. But if you don't invest in the young people's education, you're not going anywhere. You're wasting your time because your budget doesn't match the realities. So what happened when your solar panels break down? It's like one time they had traffic lights all over the place in Monrovia. But then as they started to break down, they didn't have a whole lot of people who could fix them. So you need to be able to match whatever technology you're doing out there. It has to be reflected in your budget. This is where Joe Biden said, look, don't tell me what you're going to do. Show me your budget and I'll tell you what you're going to do. Mm-hmm. So when you have almost 77% of your budget going to recurring expenditures. And the funny thing is the recurring expenditures was 71% in 2023. In 2024, it's saying it fell. That's because they did some shenanigans with the budget. They recast the budget because they found out it was actually going to be a huge, massive shortfall. Then it went back up to being their old selves again. And then in 2026, now it's projected to be like around a little over 70-something%.
And Larry, not to take you off track, I see here why the appropriation of vote tech is decreasing. Foreign travel is increasing. In the previous year, foreign travel about 4 million and change. And there you go. 4%.
4%.
Yeah, to vote tech. And
if vote tech is 0.004.
0.00, yeah.
You got your priorities all backed up.
Yeah.
All backed up. You're not preparing the young people there for the changing technologies, like Brother Gayman was saying. At one time, you had the underwear bomber, you had the shoe bomber, you had all things change. America is spending, I don't know how much is a Patriot missile, like $5-6 million or so to shoot down a $2,000 drone.
Yeah.
The technology changed. If anybody show me a plane in Liberia that is longer than 36 months, you need to slap them because that's absolute nonsense. Things change so rapidly across the world that any plane you have that is greater than 36 months, that nonsense. Look at what's going on with Ebola. Ebola in the countries that's impacting it. Those kind of diseases, and it's going to have a huge economic impact in that region. But those diseases, they tend to recur over a period of time. So this little security apparatus, somebody sat down and said, okay, man, what can we do to eat some money? Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's come up with a 10-year plan. Then we'll ask for the first 5-year money, even though we're only going to be here for another 3 years. I'm telling you, that plan, the president needs to just kind of wise up and at times just say, look, man, this did not make any sense. No way. The world changes. Technology changes rapidly. 18 months, technology changes. And I think it might be even less time. Well, with AI now, that whole Moore's law it was referred to completely changed everything now. AI technology is changing even more rapidly. So that whole thing they're talking about, they're wasting their time, man. They just want to waste money.
Let's go to Myean. If you have time, while we're talking about poverty, play that video for us. Let me welcome Martin Williams from South Korea. Thank you for tuning in. If you have that video that will cue, please play it when the president talks about security and everything else, the investment should trickle down to everybody in the country, in the nation. Nobody should be left behind. I think I heard that before somewhere. No child left behind. We just cut and paste other people's stuff. I won't be surprised sooner or later we're here, make Liberia great again. Myean, if you have that video, please play the video about people being left behind in the modern days in the Republic of Liberia. We wanted to play that video on the 6 o'clock hour. We ran a little late, so we would do it close to the 7 o'clock hour. Let me see where Myean is. Hopefully he's paying attention here. So we can have this video and then we can assess it. I know today is Friday. I know everybody.
Listen, Jerome. Thank you, Larry. This is where I get off. And
yes, I know 7 o'clock you have to go. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, my son's all right. But thank you guys very much, Larry. Yes. Those graphics, man. Those things that I could look at those things for days and days. There's so much information. But thank you for doing that.
I wanted you to make comment on it before you leave. I know it's time to go.
Right.
They said humiliation of a 58-year-old woman sparked national outrage, renewed calls to end harmful practices in life.
I saw that in River G County. Let me
there you go again, your Southeast people. What's wrong with the South? Today you guys are getting
I can understand your bias. All the other stories, you don't pick them up. You don't pick up the Southeastern story. But I saw that clip. And incidentally, I keep saying the immediate past superintendent is my friend Philly, We go with
all the bad people.
All the bad people, right? Philly is not a bad person, he's just a foolish person. But I still remember that when he came into office, there was another story very similar to that.
Yes.
And this woman was dehumanized. I think there was even possibility of rape charges. I mean, allegations involved. And these people, Jerome, our people, man, we need a lot of sensitization. We gotta the dignity of the person. We have to respect people. I don't get what he is here. I think somebody posted a murder suspect arrested. The people, making sure to put his hand on his head so he doesn't bump his head in the car. Give the person that dignity. And this woman was accused. It turned out the allegations, may not be true, but I mean, thankfully, I think the government got involved. Some of the people were arrested. But our people, they do that. They dehumanize, subject the person to all kinds of ill treatment, and I read that story, and the poor woman sitting over there, how can she live in as strip the woman naked, and our people back there, they're not like Moravian people or American who don't care too much about their body. Those people have a lot of dignity and respect for their bodies. Strip that woman, and when those kind of things happen, the family gets so terrified they don't come to the support of the person.
Of course.
They just kind of wash their hands on this person, and these people are left to their own devices to do whatever they choose. So my heart goes out to this woman. I don't think there's any kind of truth in the allegation they levy against this woman. Those are people who just wanted to see women naked and parade in front of them. A bunch of perverts. So yeah, I'm glad you lived that story, but I read it and I just shook my head,
But how do you determine someone looks like a witch?
Exactly.
Somebody you don't like, you just get up and say, "Man, you look like a witch," and everybody start beating on you. I mean, look, we it's 7:00. We are about to close here because today's Friday. We gotta go watch the game.
Absolutely.
But we were on the folks in Lofa the other day when they tied this woman because the woman decided she was not going to sweep and clean up after people because they told her she had to do it for the devil or whatsoever. She said she was not doing it.
Right.
And they disgraced her. And we were on here. And other people were here. And I'm glad that Honorable Nagbe is here to denounce what's happening, as opposed to other folk who are here saying that's our culture, that's what we do. And then when we started pushing, then they say, well, they shouldn't have done that.
No.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for tuning in. It's 7:00 here.
Yeah, quickly, I know you recognize the people. Let me recognize my boy here, Samuel Gwisning. Samuel Gwisning he's a former president of the Barabo people here in the U.S. He lives in Minnesota. Great. So, let me thank you for tuning in, my man. I know we'll talk about it later, but regards to the family, thank you so much. Please share the show. But thank you very much, Jerome. It's been great. And Larry in the back there.
Yes. It's time to have your dinner. It's time to go. So we're going to call it quits for the day. It's
the white thing, my man, you better get from over there and
can't eat your food before I give it away. So, guys, listen, it was nice talking to you. We had a great weekend. We had a great week. Enjoy your weekend. Go enjoy your New York Knicks game. And as usual, we are all from the East Coast, so we got to go. Listen, I want to go with Wimba because he's an African and all of that, but I tell you
Make it interesting, right? But the next man, Jerome, I am sure will be singing. And there will be 2 games before we meet again, tonight and Sunday night, I think.
That's correct.
So by the time we come back on Monday, I think the series would have taken shape.
Yep, we will know. So, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Let's do this again on Monday. God bless.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Tabedam, this is your code. Take possession of it. As the representative said, we want to see you collaborating and cooperating and making sure that you make use of the court. Respect the judges. When you receive a paper from the court, don't say that challenge you. Come to the court and tell the court this is my reason. Don't refuse. People have a habit of burning government property down. This, I hope, will not happen here. Anybody attempting to burn court or police station while I'm teaching, we are not going to establish a new player for you. But I can tell you that you will not come back to your people on their leave. We will make sure. Confusion is everywhere. Every society, government, got good and bad people. There are a lot of good people in the country, but there are a lot of bad ones too. Prophet Key is an example. He has spoiled the good name of Dima people, they spoiled the good name of people from Tabata district. In our society, nobody abuses women court. If you do it in the town and you are a man, the man discipline you. If you do it as a woman, the woman discipline you. But unfortunately, we have one child from a mother who decided to live with abusing women. Today, we lack you, we will remain there until otherwise the time is completed. Then last week, his parents, people from the town came to me and gave me cola and white chicken. They say when somebody abuses an old lady in your mind, 90+ years old, they say, okay, we come to plead with your mind. I took it, but I told them from the key we serve his thing. They said, I know what we came for. That's the kind of person I am. But the issue that society is disciplined. The answer of this gabble is to get justice or is to discipline society. When you are wrong, you will be wrong. When you are right, you will be right. Make use of the court.
Okay. All right. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever you are following us from, good morning, good evening. We are at the red light, specifically the Shuka Hill community, and we're having interaction with our less fortunate brothers who are here in the ghetto, and basically those who are willing to get up these drugs that is affecting us and also affecting the society. So we have the first brother here. We'll have an interview with him, and we'll go to the next person. So my brother, what's your name?
My name is Henry G. Hills.
Henry G. Hills. Yeah, can you be a little bit audible?
My name is Henry G. Hills.
Henry G. Hills, where you used to live before?
Living at Johnson Compound.
Oh, Johnson Compound here in Red Light.
Yeah, in
So how you get affected by the drugs?
Well, true friends. I get in the drug business.
Why friends that you guys were in high school together or what?
My friends that were in high school together from 7th grade. Freshman year. I started taking the drug myself.
So which kind of drugs you can take?
Before I used to smoke grass, went to Tomalin where right now it's smoking.
Right now you're smoking kush. And how much kush you can take a day before you get high?
Take something like 10 kush a day before.
And how much for one kush?
$150
Liberian dollars. And how long does it stay in you with? How long it stay in you?
Depends how well the kush works, how good it is. So sometimes maybe something like 45 to 1 hour before.
45 to 1 hour?
Yeah, good in your system.
So the 6 pieces of kush you take, it stay in you for 45 to 1 hour?
Yeah, good in your system.
Then you need to come back again and rewind. But where is your family? Where is your mother, your father?
My mother passed away. Right now my father is actually sick at the St. Johnson compound.
Okay. Your father actually sick at the St. Johnson compound? Okay. So you say your name again? All right, Mr. Hill, thank you. Let's talk to the next brother. How you doing, my brother?
I'm fine.
What is your name?
Michael Smoke.
Michael Smoke. Where you used to live before?
Female Reserve.
Female Reserve. Where the guy Female Reserve?
Kakata Highway.
Oh, Kakata Highway. But man, where Kakata Highway and you here in real life? How you manage to get here? Yeah. So how you get into drugs?
At the time I went into high school. That's where I get into drugs.
While you start mingling with friends?
Yeah, friends who did myself were into the same class. They were into the habit I never knew. One time I was 17. I decided going to go sit. At the time, tar was smoking.
Oh, you all smoking tar?
Yeah, tar.
And how much you buying tar at the time?
At the time, tar was
250. Okay.
I had it. When we were 6, I had it. I had it to tar. Put it on the 4. When they get something. But when I come get it, I'm not saying begging your small officer.
So,
begging your small taking the bread.
So how many, what are you taking right now? Which kind of substance are you taking right now? I mean, what is it? We having interview with those guys, those affected guys, and what is it? Yeah. So why is it? So what's the problem? What's the problem with him? Information that he's selling? So you want to
okay, hey, message once. Begin. That will really match you. Yeah, ain't I gonna let you? You're quiet.
Okay, so yeah, we stay with you. It's just like the DA officer, some of DA officer came here to arrest a guy. According to him, he said that this guy is a drugs dealer. So he came to arrest him. So they are there at the back. You can see them going. They are there to carry on investigation on him, whether if he had drugs or not. But we are speaking directly to those who are affected, those drugs affected, or substance abuse, brothers and sisters. So, I mean, which kind of drugs are you currently taking?
Andrew, which is kush.
You taking kush? Yeah. And how much is a kush? 150 for one kush. How many kush you can take a day before you get high?
12.
You can take 12. So it's like 150 times 12. You alone can take it, or you can be 2 to 3 to take it. Yeah, one can take it. Oh, 4 phase, second phase, third phase. So how long 4 phase they can last in you for? And be back with the second phase. The second phase again, you got to take another 12 pieces again. I don't know. But
not 12 pieces now. 4 days, no 4.
Oh, 4.
Yes, only all together.
Yeah. Oh, over the whole day at 12. Okay. So then, how can be when the drugs leave you that you have to take first phase, second phase by all costs? So, are you willing to leave these drugs? Let's be honest to your conscience. Are you willing to leave this drug? Are you willing to go away with all drugs in your system? Where you will be clear on this, you will be broke and all, but you still say, yes, I don't want to go back. Are you willing to do that?
Sure. From my heart.
Disappointment. Now the vice president often tell me since he got a seat as vice president, how many persons have I recommended in this government to serve in the government as presidential appointee? 0. Every appointment in Nima County was done by him. He and I would discuss something as a brother. To implement it, you will bypass me and do different things. I don't talk on it.
Now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government makes you lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask.
The good person in our whole United Party, that President Baka. You want to say that again? The only person that appreciate good among all the United Party for that President Baka. The rest are ungrateful. The right, they use you and dumb you. But President Baka, if all of them were taking the President Baka and behaving the President Baka, United Party will have another chance in 2029. Just for now, they do not regard people that help them. I'm not.
3 of our soldiers were executed on this party ground. 2 at the back and 1 right at the headquarters. The man who shot and killed our people today is a darling boy in the Liberia National Police. They brought him back to shoot more guns. Get ready to shoot. Because we challenge the status quo appropriately. Inform them in the violence or any student because of their action. It will be the day the entire Garguah administration will cut down. We will massively violate the students in this country and we'll shut down the Garguah administration. The day that happens, we have the capability to do so. And if they think this renovation project is a joke, let them try it. The fall of the Garguah administration begin with this. If they think they will tumble on any student in this country or at the university like Boy and Water with impunity, while our children saving opponents and logic in the Western world, while we are subjected to agile forward and bad learning conditions here, and the thing we see. In
the first 100 days, no car will get stuck on a major road in this country. And I mean it.
You say you're alive?
It's going down. First blow. There you have it.
That led to decades of war still run deep. But so too does the longing for reconciliation. A reconciliation defined not by political bargaining or by an artificial balance of power by tribe, region, religion, or ethnicity, but by the equality of opportunity and a better future for all Liberians.
Bwaga can lie, the government, all the ministers in the government, they can lie. They don't put all hustle, they put hustle, they lie. Everything they say, they never say the truth.
Today, the supporters of His Excellency Joseph Boakai presents him as a poor man from Lofa and assert that he will understand the plight of the poor people. Fellow Liberians, do not be fooled. Vice President Boakai is not poor like you, not even as me. As Vice President, his office received more money from the government budget than any other Vice President has received in Liberia's history. He has enjoyed some of the best and most lucrative government jobs.
First of all, there's this, what I call sort of vicious lie about the fact that they say Mr. Kobe is gay or bring gay lifestyle to Liberia. It's complete bullshit. When people can accuse you of stealing people's money, when they can accuse you of being involved in the war, anything, people don't make up stuff. They don't make up shit. Excuse my language, right? So it's complete nonsense. I'm married, 8 Teresa, 2 children, 5 grandchildren. I believe in traditional family values, so it's complete bullshit, complete nonsense.
Jamaikun, young man, vice president, young man that vice president, the major stole 500,000. I mean, Jamaikun, the major went to I forgot that Jamaikun. The majors went to Ghana, the fit, and they may bring it all company in the country. I mean, Kun, they can reach yourself. Kun, man, you know, Kun, but I want to sophisticated, quiet. Hardcore rule in Liberia. When
when 2029 come and pass, then you finally leave. Mission is completed. Now, what the rules of engagement? When the war ended, the guy said, the captain, the commander said, mission complete. There winner out first. All men on board.
Everywhere there is no school, I will post school. And everywhere there is school and school in bad condition, I will renovate it. I told them towns and